Okay, we're back today. First off, let's do a little recap. We talked about mech suits, like this one, which is a concept of a mech suit. Again, I don't have the permission to use this because I couldn't find who created it. If someone could tell me where it's from, that'd be great, because I'd love to give them credit, because it's a very, very well-rendered design. Now, after just giving a small introduction to mech suits, we talked about robots, especially in manufacturing. They can lift more, do more, all because they have a constant source of energy, basically, which is electricity. Then we talked about how they're used in manufacturing, which is heavy lifting and things that people don't want to do, like packing and moving parts, which, in a way, doesn't really create as many jobs as people say. Because with robots, you really only need one person for every 10 to 15 robots during regular production. You might need more for the beginning, but really that only takes maybe a year at most. This is shown, like, after that you only need one person for every 10 to 15 robots, at least in my experience. And then for every 4 robots, basically, you really only need one person to reset it or to jog it to the correct place if it has an issue. One thing I forgot to mention is for maybe every 20 robots, if they're properly taken care of, then you really only need one person for full maintenance. This is, of course, assuming that you use the proper products to run them and to take care of them, and buy the proper things to take care of the cables and take care of everything else, and to protect from power surges and such. Now, with mechasuits, we talked about how you need people inside, you need people for maintenance, and you need people to code them. So what this means is, while with robots, you really only need 10 to 15 people, robots with one person for coding after the initial coding, which honestly is very easy to do. Once you know how to do it, it doesn't take too long. It's mostly just logic. And you need one person for basically every 4 robots to jog it. Not even that. Maybe one person for every 10. And then for every about 20 robots, someone to take care of them properly and do the proper preventative maintenance when you need to. You will only need 1 to 2 people for maintenance. Now, for mechasuits, after initial coding, which creation, you probably only need 1 person. Gotta scroll down because there's a spot on this that doesn't work. You need 1 person for about probably the same amount, 10 to 15 suits. For, scroll please, for the inside, however, such as jogging, or how it would correlate to robots, you need 1 person per suit, which in the end creates substantially more jobs versus this one. Wow, that was interesting thing. Okay, so you have a substantially different relationship in creating jobs between this and this. So after that, for maintenance, of course, you probably only need a team of maybe 3 people for, say, 20 to 40 suits, assuming that they're created properly. This is just a logical deduction based off of my experience in the field of robotics. If anyone has any corrections, I'm very willing to look at them if you post them in the comments or send me a message. Somehow. I'm not quite sure how we're going to do that yet. Anyways, so why this is important, like exceedingly important in today's world. Let's look at the rate of unemployment right now, currently. Rate of unemployment. Currently, in the US, the rate was 3.9%, last recorded in January 2nd of 2019. In Europe, just the European Union, it was 6.7% in October of 2018. In India, it was 3.52% in January of 2019. In Australia, it was 5.1% on December 2018. Now, I could continue going on, such as Russia, which is 4.8% in December 2018. And then I would go on with just South America, but because unlike the European Union, they don't record everything as a whole, I couldn't get anything specific for just the whole of South America. I only got specifics of certain countries, which, in all honesty, I didn't want because there's plenty of countries. And for some reason, they don't calculate the global rate of unemployment. Now, okay, these percentages, they seem fairly small. But in the grand scheme of things, if you look at the total percentage, the total amount of people in each nation, these are large numbers. Very, very large. It's not necessarily something that one person could worry about personally, but if you're thinking as for a whole country, this is devastating for people. And honestly, we need to fix that. With Mechasuits, this can be fixed. Not perfectly, but slightly. Because Mechasuits, the coding, of course, takes someone with knowledge. The maintenance, knowledge. But the person inside, that doesn't necessarily take knowledge. Because what we use robots and other things for, lifting aids and such, you don't really need knowledge to say, well, hell, that's annoying. You don't need knowledge to pick up a crate. You don't need knowledge to move a pallet of parts. You just need to know where they go and where they're coming from. So that means that, in the end, this whole idea of mechasuits versus robots, going off of everything that I've told you, logically, it seems that to go with mechasuits, hopefully advancing the world soon so that we can have them, would lead to a much better, or I should say lower, rate of unemployment. Because currently, personally, these numbers are unacceptable. Just completely unacceptable currently, and using mechasuits would hopefully change that.